to the second episode of Brainiacs, a game show where knowledge meets competition and only the sharpest mind will survive. In this show, our contestants are quizzed on all types of trivia, from the CSEC syllabus to modern pop culture, for a chance to be the ultimate Brainiac and win up to $300,000. Get ready to watch this matchup between these brilliant minds. Here's how the competition will go. There will be 3 rounds of competition, with rounds 1 and rounds 2 consisting of 6 categories each and 5 questions for each category. And round 3 will consist of 1 category and 1 final question. If we do the math, that gives us a total of 61 questions, where each question will be worth a specific number of points. These points are equivalent to Guyanese dollars. The winner of this episode will go on to defend their position and accumulate even more points for a chance to walk away with up to $300,000 and be the last man standing. Our contestants in this episode are our returning champion from episode 1, Malachi Seals. He is a part of his school's archery and volleyball clubs. Contestant number 2, Yadesh and Daniel, an aspiring lawyer, and he too is also a part of his school's environmental and debate clubs. And contestant number 3, Daniel Elliott, an aspiring entrepreneur and a member of his school's archery club.
Let's take a look at the rules of the show. The host will select the first category and question. Contestants have 10 seconds after the question has been read to hit their buzzer. The first contestant that hits their buzzer has 3 seconds to answer the question correctly. If answered correctly, the contestant can select the next category and question. If answered incorrectly, contestants will lose the point value for the question and other contestants will have the chance to answer. The contestant who answers the question correctly will select the next category. In the third and final round of the competition, contestants can wager a number of points before the final question is read. After wagering, the final question will be read, and contestants will have 20 seconds to answer it. After the 20-second timer has rung, contestants must put down their pens, and the answer will be revealed. The contestants who answer correctly will be awarded the number of points wagered, while contestants who answered incorrectly will have the points wagered deducted from their score. The contestant with the highest score will be declared the winner and advance to the next episode. If there is a tie, 1 final question will be presented. Contestants will have 3 seconds to answer. The first contestant to hit their buzzer will be given a chance to answer the question. If answered correctly, that contestant will be declared the winner. However, if answered incorrectly, the opponent has the opportunity to answer the question and steal the points to become the winner. Get ready to put your knowledge to the test.
Contestants, welcome. Here are our categories. First up, we have X and Y. Each correct answer will be a mathematical term in this category, followed by in the Caribbean. This category features questions about places, culture, history, and important figures. Next up, it's all about pi. Don't think about food, think of circles in this mathematics category. After that, it's fill in the blanks. In this general knowledge category, you'll be asked to fill in the blanks. Followed by a green thumb. We're heading into the garden for this agricultural science category. And finally, authors and playwrights. In this category, we'll take a look at decorated literary authors and playwrights. Contestants, remember, every correct answer brings you closer to the grand prize. Good luck. Let's start with a green thumb for 100. This process generally involves increasing the number of plants from the parent stock. Time's up. Since no one attempted to answer that question, the correct answer would be plant propagation. All right? Let's have in the Caribbean for 100, please. Home to the Grantley Adams International Airport, this country is known for its crop over festival and famous billionaire celebrity. Malachi.
Who is Rihanna? Which is Barbados?
That's correct. All right, you had a little bit of a slip up there, but let's be careful next time. You can go ahead and select the next category and question.
In the Caribbean for 200.
Sure thing. Oil down is the national dish of this country, famous for its production of nutmeg and mace. Daniel.
Granado.
That is correct. Go ahead and select your next category and question.
Green thumb for 200.
This describes edible leaves, roots, or stems of herbaceous plants. Malachi?
Would this be herbs?
I'm sorry, that's not the answer we're going for. Yadesh or Daniel? Yeah, Daniel is saying no. All right, the correct answer would be vegetables. I know, right? That was a pretty close one there. All right, let's go ahead again. Malachi, with you selecting.
Green thumb for 300.
The process used to eliminate bacteria and other harmful microorganisms from the planting medium or compost. All right, time's up. The correct answer we were going for was sterilization or solarization. All right, go ahead and select again.
In the Caribbean for 300.
This monarch is the head of 14 states, including Jamaica and Canada. Malachi?
Would it be Prince Charles?
I'm sorry, that answer there is incorrect. Would Yadesh or Daniel like to give it a try? Yadesh.
King Charles.
That is correct. Specifically, King Charles III. All right? Awesome. Go ahead and select your category in question.
Green thumb 400.
A method of asexual plant propagation that joins plant parts from different plants. Daniel?
Grafting.
That is correct. Go ahead and select your next category and question. Let's
All
go.
about pi 200.
This branch of mathematics deals with the study of different shapes and their measurements. Malachi?
What is geometry?
That is correct. Go ahead and select.
All about pi for 300.
V equals 4/3 pi radius cube is used to find what measurement? Daniel?
Spear.
I'm sorry, we can't accept that answer.
Yes.
Let's be a little bit more specific. Would Malachi or Yadesh like to try? Malachi.
Would it be the volume of a sphere?
That is correct. You missed it there. It's the volume of the sphere. Malachi, go ahead and select.
In the Caribbean for 400.
Javanese is one of the 3 official languages spoken in this eastern neighborhood of Guyana. Malachi.
Would this country be Suriname?
That's correct. Go ahead and select.
In the Caribbean for 500.
The Treaty of Chaguaramas was signed by the heads of government of which countries? Malachi.
Treaty of Chaguaramas was signed by the heads of the governments of countries of Guyana, Trinidad, Barbados. Yes.
Right. Sorry, that is not the complete answer, so we won't be able to accept that. Would Yadesh or Daniel like to give it a try?
No.
No? So we were looking for, the answer rather that we were looking for was Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, Guyana, and Jamaica. All right, let's go ahead, Malachi, and select again.
All about pi for 100.
The precise value of pi cannot be expressed as a fraction of 2 integers, a ratio. This property makes pi an example of what type of number? Malachi.
Pi represented as an improper fraction.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Yadesh or Daniel? Daniel is shaking his head no. All right, time's up. The correct answer would be an irrational number. All right? Go ahead again, Malachi.
Green thumb for 500.
These are modified subterranean plant stems that send out roots and shoots from their nodes. Time's up. The answer we were looking for was rhizomes. Go ahead again, Malachi, and select.
Authors and playwrights are 100.
This Jamaican novelist is known for her extensive work in the literary field with works such as The Boy Who Loved Ice Cream, The Pain Tree, and The Two Grandmothers. Daniel.
Olive Senior.
That is correct. Go ahead and select.
All about pi 400.
When the radius of a circle is decreased by 100%, the area of the circle is said to... Time's up. All right, this one was a bit of a trick question, but the area of the circle also decreases by 100%. All right? That was a trick one there. Let's go ahead and select the next category.
X and Y 100.
This mathematical law or property deals with the order in which an arithmetic operation is carried out. Malachi.
This is BODMAS.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Yadesh.
PEMDAS.
I'm sorry, that too is incorrect. Daniel.
Commutative.
That is correct. The commutative law. Go ahead and select.
X and Y 200.
This term is an expression consisting of a number or numbers and at least one letter in the form of a product. Malachi.
Is it an algebraic expression?
Yes, that's correct. If you had said algebraic term as well, that would have been correct too. Go ahead and select.
X and Y for 300.
This mathematical expression uses letters and numbers to represent a balance between two quantities. Malachi?
Is it a quadratic expression?
That's incorrect. Yadesh or Daniel? All right, the time's up. The correct answer we were going for was an equation. All right, let's go again, Malachi, and select.
Fill in the blank for 100.
Something is the capital of this CARICOM country, known as the Twin Island. Malachi?
Is it Haiti?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Yadesh or Daniel? Daniel?
Port of Spain.
That is correct. Go ahead and select your next category.
Filling the blank 200.
When performing experiments in the lab, something comes first. Yadesh?
Safety.
That is correct. Go ahead and select.
Fill in the blank 300.
To calculate time, we use this formula. Time equals something divided by speed. Daniel?
Distance.
That is correct. Go ahead and select.
X and Y 400.
What mathematical operation, when applied to a number, yields another number such that when multiplied by itself, results in the original number? That's time. I know it's a pretty long question, but the answer to that is square roots. Go ahead and select.
X and Y 500.
This mathematical symbol is used to denote the process of integration. It is often depicted as an elongated S. Time's up. The answer we were looking for was integral. An elongated S. All right? All right. Let's go again. Daniel, select your next category and question.
Fill in the blank 400.
In geometry, something refers to the amount of surface covered by a shape. Daniel?
Area.
That is correct. Select again.
Fill in the blank 500.
Meaning with oxygen, something type of exercise involves continuous movement and use large muscle groups. Time's up. The answer we were looking for is aerobic type of exercises. All right? Let's go again and select.
All about pi 500.
Take a look at this image. What is the name given to the part found between E and B? Malachi?
Is that the sector?
That is correct.
Okay.
Go ahead and select.
Authors and playwrights are 200.
This American novelist, whose 1960 work earned her the 1961 Pulitzer Prize, crafted a masterpiece in To Kill a Mockingbird, cementing her status as an icon of modern American literature. Time's up. That author would be Harper Lee. Remember, one of her most famous works is To Kill a Mockingbird. Let's go again. Malachi?
Authors and playwrights are 300.
In the 1990 short story Raymond's Run, this author managed to tell the story of a talented sprinter who cares for her disabled brother. That's time. The correct answer we were going for was Tony Bambara. Right? Go ahead and select again.
Author of the rest of 400.
In this 1972 short story, this Jamaican author tells the story of a young boy's pet cow that keeps following him to school and disrupting the lessons. And the principal insists the animal be sold. Malachi.
Is it a cow boy?
That's incorrect. We're asking for the author. Would Yadesh or Daniel like to give it a try? They're both saying no. The correct answer we're going for would be C.E. Palmer. All right? And let's get the final question for this round of competition. Tijan, Mijan, and Grosjean are the main characters in Tijan and His Brothers, which is written by this decorated St. Lucian playwright. Time's up. The correct answer would be Derek Walcott. And that brings us to the end of round number 1. All right, let's take a look at our scoreboard. In the lead, we have Daniel Elliott with 1,300 points. Coming in second place, Yadesh Narain with 400 points. And in third place, we have Malachi Seals with minus 300 points. Let's see if Malachi can make a comeback in the second round of the competition. Welcome back to Brainiacs. Here's a recap of our scores so far. Again, in the lead, we have Daniel Elliott with 1,300 points. In second place, Yadesh Narain with 400. And Malachi Seals with negative 300 points. Our contestants can say that they're fully warmed up and ready to beat the stakes in this second round of the competition. All right, let's head into round number 2. Here are our categories. First up, we have the human body. This category covers questions about human anatomy, followed by wordplay. Each correct response will be a literary device in this category, followed by on the periodic table. Questions in this category revolve around the elements of the periodic table and their properties. Next up, famous poems. Explore classic and contemporary poetry in this category, with questions about renowned poems and their authors. After that, resistance. We'll take a look at the movements that have been solidified in Guyana's history. And finally, flu season. This category focuses on how well you know influenza. So, we'll start off this category with contestant number 1, Malachi, selecting the category and question.
The human body for 200.
All right, let's go. This muscular tube, about 25 centimeters long, extends from the pharynx to the stomach and serves as a conduit for food and liquids during swallowing. Daniel.
Esophagus.
That is correct. Go ahead and select.
Human body 400.
Weighing approximately 3 pounds in adults, this organ plays a crucial role in over 500 bodily functions, such as filtering blood and producing bile. Daniel.
The liver.
That's correct again. Go ahead and select.
The human body 600.
This is the largest organ of the human body, serving as a protective barrier against external threats and helps regulate body temperature. Daniel.
The skin.
That's correct again.
Human body 800.
Located at the back of the eye, this thin layer of tissue contains millions of light-sensitive cells called rods and cones. Daniel.
The retina.
That's correct.
The human body 1000.
This tiny bone plays a crucial role in the transmission of sound waves within the human ear. Malachi.
The ossicles.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Yadesh or Daniel? Daniel.
Sternum.
That's incorrect as well. Yadesh, would you like to give it a try? The correct answer we're going for was stapes or stirrup. Let's go ahead and select again.
Wordplay 200.
These are words that sound alike but have different meanings and often different spellings, such as to, and to. Malachi.
Homographs. These are homographs.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Yadesh?
Homophones.
That is correct. Go ahead and select.
Wordplay 400.
Contradictory terms placed side by side like jumbo shrimp or deafening silence exemplify this form of wordplay. Daniel.
Oxymoron.
That's correct.
Wordplay 600.
A play on words that suggests two or more meaning by exploiting the multiple meanings of words, often for humorous effect. Time's up. The correct answer would be pun. Go ahead and select.
Wordplay 800.
This literary device involves the use of words that imitate the sounds they represent. Yadesh.
Onomatopoeia.
That's an excellent choice and the correct answer. Go ahead and select.
Wordplay 1000.
This poetic technique involves the repetition of initial consonant sounds in words close to each other. Malachi.
Alliteration.
That is correct. Go ahead and select.
On the periodic table for 200.
This element with the symbol Hg is the only metal that is liquid at room temperature. Daniel.
Mercury.
That is correct. Go ahead and
On the
select.
periodic table 400.
This non-metal element with the symbol C is the basis of all known life on Earth. Daniel.
Carbon.
That is correct. Go ahead and select again.
On the periodic table 600.
With the atomic number 1, this element is the lightest and most abundant chemical substance in the universe. Malachi.
Hydrogen.
That is correct.
On the periodic table for 800.
Found in group 18 of the periodic table, this colorless, odorless, and tasteless gas is the least reactive of all elements. Malachi.
Would this element be fluorine? Sorry.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
that's
okay.
incorrect. Yadesh and Daniel. The correct answer we were going for would have been helium. All right. Go again,
On
Malachi.
the periodic table for 1000.
This element with the symbol Fe is commonly known as rust when it oxidizes. Malachi.
Iron.
That's correct. Go ahead and select.
Resistance for 200.
This act of rebellion took place on plantation Magdalenenburg in February 23, 1763. Malachi.
The 1763 East Coast Slave Rebellion.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Yadesh or Daniel? Yadesh.
The Barbie Slave Rebellion.
That is correct. Go ahead and select.
Resistance 400.
Known as the East Coast Slave Insurrection, this act of rebellion took place in this village. Malachi.
Was it and more?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Yadesh or Daniel? The answer we were going for would have been Plantation Lara Souvenir. All right, go ahead and let's select again.
Resistance 600.
This religious leader, known as the Demerara Martyr, had a church named after him. And that's the time we have. So the correct answer would be Reverend John Smith, and the name of that church would be Smith Memorial Congregational. All right, let's go again, Yadesh, and select.
Famous poems 200.
This powerful poem by Wilfred Owen, written during World War I, exposes the harsh realities of warfare and questions the glorification of dying for one's country. Malachi.
Dulls et decorum est.
That is correct. Go ahead and select.
Resistance for 800.
This act became a law in 1833 and provided for the abolition of slavery throughout the colonies. Malachi.
This act is slave abolition.
We'll take that answer, but to be a bit more specific, it would be the Slavery Abolition Act. All right? Go ahead and select.
Resistance for 1000.
The period of transition that followed the emancipation of slaves and allowed the Africans to bargain wages. Yadesh.
Apprenticeship.
That is correct. Indentureship would also be correct as well. Go ahead and select.
Famous poems 400.
This poem by Guyanese poet Martin Carter captures the melancholy and struggle of a nation under colonial oppression. with its title evoking a period of despair and resistance? Malachi.
This is a dark time I love.
That is correct. Go ahead and select.
Flu season for 200.
This parasitic disease, transmitted by mosquitoes and causing symptoms such as fever, headache, and muscle aches, is named after bad air and is a significant health concern in many parts of the world. Time's up. The correct answer would be malaria. Close one there, right? Let's go again and select.
Flu season for 400.
This viral disease, primarily transmitted through sexual contact, can lead to genital warts and an increased risk of certain cancers. Malachi?
This viral disease would be genital warts.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Yadesh and Daniel? The correct answer would be HPV, or the human papillomavirus. Let's go again and select.
Flu season for 600.
This genetic disorder, characterized by the abnormal formation of hemoglobin in red blood cells, can lead to anemia, pain crisis, and organ damage. That's the time, and the correct answer would be sickle cell disease. Let's go again and select.
Famous poems to 600.
In Shakespearean verse, this poem is often interpreted as an allegory for the passage of time and the inevitability of mortality. Time's up. The correct answer would be Sonnet 73. All right, let's go again, Malachi, and select.
Famous poems to 800.
This Langston Hughes poem talks about identity and race in America, exploring the universal human experience through the lens of a college student's assignment. Time's up. The answer we were going for was theme for English B. Right?
Famous poems for 1000.
This poem, composed by William Wordsworth while crossing a famous London landmark, captures the beauty of the city in the early morning hours. Daniel.
Sonnet composed on London Bridge.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Yadesh or Malachi? Yadesh.
Sonnet composed upon Westminster Bridge.
That is correct. Go ahead and select.
Flu season 800.
This respiratory illness led to a global pandemic in 2020. Daniel.
COVID-19.
That is correct. And our final question. This virus leads to acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, AIDS. Daniel.
HIV.
That is correct. And with that, we've come to the end of round number 2. Let's take a look at our scores. In the lead, we have Daniel Elliott with 4,100 points, Yadesh Narain with 3,600 points, and Malachi Seals with 1,100 points. We are now in the third and final round of the competition, which consists of one category and one question. In this round, contestants can wager all or none of their points. Ultimately, the contestant with the highest point will be declared the winner and advance to episode 3, where they will defend their place in the competition and compete against 2 new contestants. Let's take a look at our final category. Algebraic equation. All right, contestants, this is where you put your buzzers down and you pick up your pens and you wager. And now our final question. These are equations involving multiple unknowns, necessitating the use of algebraic techniques to manipulate the equations and find a common solution. You have 20 seconds. Your 20 seconds are up. All right, let's start with Malachi. Let's see what Malachi wrote and how much he wagered. All right, and he wagered everything. I'm sorry, that's not the correct answer we were going
doomed.
for. Yadesh, what about you? You wagered 1,000 points, and that is correct. Simultaneous equation is the correct answer. That takes your new total to 4,600 points. And Daniel, over to you. Let's see what you wrote. Quadratic equation, and you wagered 200 points. That takes your new balance to 3,900 points. So, coming in first place and the winner of our second episode of Brainiacs is Yadesh Narain. Congratulations, Yadesh. How are you feeling about winning this competition?
Happy.
You're happy? Did you have any doubts like throughout the competition? Were you doubting yourself? Anything of that sort? You're quite confident in your abilities.
Yes.
Yes. What an exciting ending to the second episode of Brainiacs. Yadesh will move on to the next episode where he will have to defend his position to remain in the competition. Stay tuned for more thrilling competition between our nation's children as they compete for the title of the 2024 Brainiacs champion and a chance to win up to $300,000. This is Danelli Singh saying goodbye for now and see you in the next one.